Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. If anyone catches us, they'll catch us in rhythm because I want to make sure we value everybody's time. I really, really appreciate this. Pretty much what this is exclusive group. Everybody that was a captain, I was talking to, actually, she's on here. I was talking to some captains, and they were expressing the fact that we give all of our time. Is there anything else that, can be done to provide value for us? And I thought, that's a great idea. So I reached out to Michelle Savage, top agent in Shreveport, and asked if she would love to share some of her thoughts. And mostly, well, how do you stay successful as a solo agent? So I figured I would ask her that question and just let her take care of it because she has been very successful for 8 years. So Michelle, how do you stay so successful as a solo agent? And the floor is now yours.
Okay, so how are y'all today? Everybody's good? Good. Okay, so mindset is my number one. Um, and staying consistent, but that also comes with mindset, keeping your mind right on the daily. What you focus on expands. We all know this, and I'm sure that it's preached in your market center like it is mine. Um, I think for me, when I got into the business, the mindset was a big deal. It's transformation for me. Um, Protect your energy and avoid the drama. If there's drama around, you have to go a different direction to stay focused in this business. And y'all know that we juggle a lot. It's not just one thing at a time that we're doing. We're doing several things at a time. So keeping the drama out, it will save time for you to focus on your clients. Customer service, that is my secret weapon. They hear me say it so much they probably get sick of it, but I'm a constant speaker of, hey, if you need anything, call me. I'm always here to help. You say that enough and they actually believe you. After closing, they're calling, needing help, right? So I think um, drilling that into them, the more you say something, I think it's you say it 7 times, they begin to believe you. So say it a lot. I do, and it has worked well for me in the 8 years I've been doing this. Answering the phone, that's a must. And if you don't, if you can't, if you're with a client, I have that preset text message that goes out that, hey, I'm showing a house or I'm with a client or whatever, and I call them back immediately after. Um, I will finish this year, I think, a little, maybe 80, 82 deals, and people will ask me, how do you do this on your own? And it's just focus and making sure I do not procrastinate, taking time to respond and to make sure that whatever needs to be done is done, taken care of. Um, Operating from a place of abundance is, I think, is a big deal for us too. Having friends that maybe want to get in the business and we're like, oh my gosh, what if they take my clients? No, you can't be that way. Help them build your tree. You never know how deep that tree will go. Um, and I have good friends. I have family, a sister-in-law that got in the business. And I'm always here to help, whatever. She's not going to take my business. There's enough out there for everybody to get business if we go get it. Whoever does the work is going to get the business. Whoever goes out there after it, open houses, which that's a whole nother story because that's how I built my business, to be honest with y'all. When I was new for 8 months, I did 2 open houses every week, every weekend, for the first 8 months. And my first year, I did 42 deals from that. So there was a lot of fruit that came from holding houses open, a lot. Um, Back to customer service for a second. Under promise, over deliver. Not every transaction is smooth. And so sometimes maybe it's the other agent on the other side. You always hate to have to apologize for them. And I've had to do that a few times. And yet, still fixing the problem. Don't create more, just fix what you've got in your hand. Um, do y'all have Google My Business? Does everybody work that? Yeah. Well, if you don't, you should. I did 10 deals last year from Google My Business. And I'll tell you, make sure you get verified. That's a big deal. And make sure you're posting on Google My Business, pictures, closings, whatever. I kind of have a rule. If I'm making a post on Facebook, I'm making it on Google. Tom Ferry said this years ago that we should, as soon as possible, we should have at least 200 pictures on Google.
All right.
Good. But Google My Business has been profitable for me. And it's free. That's the cool thing. It's free. After I close a deal, I shoot them the link. Hey, can you please leave me some feedback? I'm trying to build this platform. I'm up to like 128 reviews, which is pretty shocking if you ask me. I've had it maybe 4 years. And not everybody's going to leave a review. Most will, but everybody they just don't, right? A friend of mine recommended I maybe keep some $25 gift cards in my pocket and at closing, hey, if you'll leave me a review real quick, here's your gift card. I've not done that yet, but that is a good idea. The more you post on it, the more pictures, the more reviews, it's going to push you to the top organically in the search engine, so that therefore you're going to come up before other agents do. So that's been a big plus for me. Google My Business. I think it's great and it's free. But I will say this. I don't use Zillow, although I do have about 20 reviews on Zillow. For people looking on ChatGPT for a realtor in their area, if you are not standing out on Zillow, you're not going to come up on ChatGPT. Just say it. Because I don't. Just say it. Social media, which I think is a big deal. I don't do any videos. I post houses, new listings all the time, communicate with people. If somebody's asking for a realtor, I always get named, which is a big deal. I don't always get called, but always get named. And so other people see that too that are looking, right? Um, Updates, just listings just sold on social media, I think is a big deal. Um, I'm highly visible without doing videos. I know that a lot of people think that's like where we're headed, and maybe we are. I'm just not the one, I guess. Maybe one day. Um, but staying top of mind, and that goes back to posting. And I don't do 5 posts a day. I may do 2 a day, sometimes just one, and yet I'm still staying top of mind. And so making sure you have that presence on social media, I think, is a big deal. And actually, in adding friends, even if you don't know them personally, add people that you, a friend of a friend, or somebody that maybe your seller's daughter that you met at the house that day, whatever. Add people that you know. The more of a following you have, the better. Market stats for probably 6 years, and I fell off the wagon recently, but for 6 years, I was posting market stats every Monday. I have a template in Canva that someone made for me, and I just go in, change, I pull the stats, change the numbers. It takes 10 seconds to post it. Literally, I can spend 5 minutes and do it. And again, I've fallen off the wagon, but that's a big deal too. And a lot of people actually, I don't want to say a lot, I'd probably get 2 or 3 calls a week after I'd post the stats, people asking questions about it. So that's something you can do that's pretty simple. Again, stays top of mind. And that at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want people to think of us first when they think of real estate. That's the goal. So that way, when they have a real estate need, they call us. We don't want them to call our competitor. Um, Postcards. Do y'all do postcards when you list or sell a property? A lot of people don't. I know in my market center, people don't either. Um, my return on investment on that is huge. Just listed, and I don't, maybe not every house I list, but most. If it's a good neighborhood where I want more listings, I'm going to send out just listed postcards. I send out 3 to 500. They are not cheap, but they are worth it. When I close it, I send out just sold postcards. Recently, I sent some just listed out. I got 2 listings just from that set of postcards. Average commission on those were 7 grand. So, like, I don't know. To me, it's a win-win. I use 3clickpostcards.com. You spell it out, click, CLICK, postcards.com. I can do this at the red light on my phone. Literally, it's that simple. Once you load your headshot, you put your brokerage information in. When you go in to do postcards, you're putting a picture of the house, and it's click, click, done. Like, it saves your credit card too. It makes it so easy. Yes, it gets expensive, and yet the profit is worth it, you know? So that is something that I've done. I think direct mail is still alive. A lot of people don't. It works for me, so I continue to do it. Same with farming. I do that on one neighborhood that I farmed that we used to live in, and I still list probably 7 to 8 a year in that neighborhood, um, from keeping my
That's
face in front of them, postcards, you know? Okay, so pop buys. Anybody do pop buys? So Mother's Day is like my big one. I make sure I spoil the mothers, right? I have a friend that opened a flower shop, and I thought, how can I support her and, work my business, right? And so I have her make little $15 bouquets. They're not huge, but they're perfect. And I wrap a little Happy Mother's Day card around them that's like, I put a hole puncher through it. It's a single little piece of paper. It's tiny. Happy Mother's Day on the back of it has my name, Keller Williams on the back. And so I drop them on the front porch, take a picture, send it to them on the way out. I do probably 80 of those a year, every Mother's Day, the week leading up to it. It's a job, y'all. I'm telling you, that is one of the hardest things I do. And every year I do it, I'm like, why am I doing this again? But again, we do it for the sphere of influence, right? So to take care of our clients. That's been a good thing. Like they love it. They posted on Facebook, look what Michelle sent me today, best realtor ever, you know. So if you can, and you could even break that down and do some for Mother's Day. You can do some for, you know, July 4th, some for Thanksgiving, some for Christmas. That way you're not doing 70 or 80 at a time. Because that's, y'all, it's a lot. It takes me about a week of chaos of getting that done. So love doing it, but it's a job. CRM, I do not bombard people with emails and text messages. I maybe send out 3 or 4 times a year, maybe, if even that, to be honest with you. But I do every once in a while, I'll send one out. Again, I don't do it a lot. I don't work my CRM as I probably should. I haven't had to to this point. So 3 or 4 times a year, they hear from me through email or text, and that's it. Holiday cards, Christmas cards. I just ordered about 600 Christmas cards that I'm going to handwrite, put a stamp on, put them in the mail. I think there's something to say about handwritten Christmas cards. I don't know. People love them. They put them on their mantle. And again, it's staying top of mind and staying in front of these people, right? In front of your clients. Open houses, back to that. My first 8 months, 2 every week, even on a holiday. It didn't matter if it was parade day. It did not matter. I was going to be there to open house on a Saturday and a Sunday. And the first year, 42 deals closed. I contributed to that. I don't do as many now as I used to. I do probably once a month when I should do more, of course, but I'm tired, you know? So I try to take Sundays with my family now. But I do have my houses being held open, just not by me. Holding the open houses, you know, I think a lot of times we're eager to get a client off those houses. And yet, for me, it's about building a relationship with people, getting to know them, their needs, where are they headed? Do they have a house to sell? I try not to be pushy. That has worked for me. I try not to be salesy. That has worked for me too. Hey, if this house doesn't work for you, that's okay. I keep a list with me at that open house. I print it the night before of houses within like a 2 mile radius around that one of what else is for sale. So therefore, if that house they're looking at is not what they like, that's okay. We can find them something else. So I just try to be helpful instead of pushy and salesy. And it's worked to this point. So sphere of influence and past clients. Last year, I closed 77 deals and 42, I think, let me go back and look, hold on. 43 of those were from sphere of influence and clients referring, you know, their family, friends, or to me. 10 came from Google, 8 came from sign calls, 3 were personal deals, 2 were open house, and 5 came from postcards. So I think this is super important, in my opinion. Dana Hayes always said you have to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, setting goals are useless. You have to keep up with your numbers and know where you're headed. You've got to know how many deals you're doing a month to calculate how many you want to do a year. And that being said, you need to figure out where these deals come from. Every time I close a deal, I keep the check paper that the MC gives it to me on. I write where they came from. That way, at the end of the year, I can calculate how many came from the sphere of influence, how many came from agent referral, how many, you know, each category. You take those top 3 categories and you focus on those top 3. If you will focus on those top 3, figure out ways to get more business from the top 3 categories where you're getting your business, you're going to grow your business. But you have to know where it comes from to be able to do that. We can't just assume and guess. Everybody's different. You know, things that work for me may not work for you, right? So we have to figure out where it's coming from so we can know how to get more. Again, if your top category is your sphere of influence, do more pop buys. Maybe more CRM emails or text messages, whatever the case may be. But I think knowing where it comes from is like super important, and that is going to gain more business for you, more profits in your pocket, you know? Everywhere I go, the conversation is real estate, whether it's the plumber, the AC man. If they ask that question and open that door, I will not shut up about real estate. Usually they do. How's the market? What are the interest rates? And so there I go. You've got me for 30 minutes talking nonstop about real estate. And it goes back to knowing the market stats, knowing where we were pre-COVID, even if you weren't in the business. I think knowing, Pre-COVID in our market, we had about 2,000 listings, right? After COVID hit, year and a half down the road, we were down to 500. We had 25% of the inventory we normally had. So I tell people this. So they think that I'm like the smartest cookie in the jar for even knowing these things, right? And I throw statistics. People are impressed by that. So I think knowing your market and how the numbers were pre-COVID, then we all were in a seller's market. Now we're back in a buyer's market. I think being able to explain that to a seller or even a buyer, to be honest with you, I think it's super important. Knowing the market. People used to say that to me when I was new, and I thought, well, how do you know the market? MLS, you pull stats, pay attention, go look at houses that are listed. Even if you're just previewing them, go take a look at them. That way you can see what's out there. Over time, you begin to understand the market and how it operates, right? Um, I can't tell you how many contractors, painters, garage door guys, AC men that I've done business with. Um, and it's obviously a trust there too, but knowledge is power. And the more you learn about your market, people are going to trust you more. And I think that's super important to be able to have that name as the trusted realtor in your area. Um, I think it's super important. So that is my list. If y'all have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I know I went through it fast, but I'm here for questions if you have them.
So, Michelle, while everybody's thinking of questions, I just want to point something out. What I loved about this was your precision in terms of, like I said, you knew all your numbers, you knew all your statistics, and it's also how simple your business is. And that
Yes.
that is not a knock. That's about the best compliment. Whenever you hear Gary Kell, Jason Abrams talk, they're always talking about how people want to make things more complicated, and it
They do.
sounds all grand and grandiose and fantastic. They're not doing any business. Your business is, I mean, everything you said is like, oh, that's all simple. That's simple. And you said, oh, I'm gonna do like 80 to 82 deals this year. That's amazing. All right, I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm all amazed.
I will tell y'all this. The other day, I told my husband I was doing this. He said, "What are you going to tell him? You don't do anything." And I really don't, y'all. I sleep till 9 o'clock every day. I do not cold call. I do not harass people. I don't bother people. I'm at a point where it comes to me because I've taken care of my clients, right? That's the bottom line. I can literally be at the red light and order my postcards. I've had 6 vacations this year. I've never done that ever. I have no transaction coordinator. I have no help. I do it all myself, right? So like we laugh because I don't. Most of the agents in our office are on the phone for 3 hours a day, cold calling people or calling, trying to get leads. I've not had to do that. Praise the Lord. Just saying. Um, but everybody's business is built different, and yet mine is. It's simple, and I'm being truthful with you. Excuse me. I'm being truthful when I say these things. Like this is what I've done. I had to call a friend of mine this morning and go, "Am I missing something? Do I do?" She's like, "Oh yeah, you do this and this," and I'm like, "Oh okay." And so of course I added it to my list, but like it's simple. I don't try to do anything extravagant. It's not that's not for me. I just want to help people and take care of their needs and build the friendships. The friendships and relationships are what brings them back. That's what I believe. So,
Laura, what you got for us?
I just had a question around your pop buys. Are you personally driving each and every one of those out, or are you hiring anyone to do that and snap the photo for you?
I do it and really I should hire somebody, but I have this horrible mindset in that area that I have to do it. It I'm working on it.
Uh, I think you got the leads and the listings. You got to get some of the leverage now, right?
I know. I had a maps coach for 4 years, Heather Lamb. She's awesome. Um, and that was kind of the goal was to build a team. And I just never really wanted to do it. I know it sounds crazy, but I would find any excuse in the book to not do it. It's crazy. And let me say this, I have a lot of leads fall through the cracks. That's truthful. And it's sad too at the same time, but it's just being truthful. A lot of leads fall through the cracks. So if I did have leverage, I could probably double that number. I know it sounds nuts, but I probably could. But I guess I just don't want it enough.
Okay. Question: can you share the site again for the postcards?
Yes, 3Click, THREE, click, CLICK, post, and you spell it out, postcards.com. And they used to be like $1 a postcard. They are not anymore. It's gotten expensive along with everything else in the world. And yet it's still worth it for me. And look, I may send a batch out and get not one call, but I may send a batch out and get 2 or 3 calls. You know what I mean? Or even listings off of them. So, and people will save them too. Just because you don't get a call immediately doesn't mean you're not going to get a call. I have people that'll tell me, hey, I've been hanging on to this for 6 months, you know? So don't think that it was a waste if they go out and you don't get a call. At the end of the day, staying top of mind, farming that neighborhood. There's one neighborhood I farm, and I will I list a lot in there too, but I send out postcards all the time. I know most everybody. I'm on their private Facebook page, the neighborhood page, because we used to live in that neighborhood. And every once in a while, I will send out a flyer like paper that shows that neighborhood's market stats. What houses have sold in the last 6 months, how much they sold for. Again, and I'm not spending a lot of money doing that. I probably spend $200 doing that for the print material, and I fold them, staple them, and put a stamp and that write the address on them. So I do it simple. You don't have to go big and put them in envelopes. You don't have to do all that. I try to keep it simple. I think that's what works for me. So, but the postcards they're very worth it to me. And you're not going to see fruits from that maybe immediately, but over time, my ROI is about 10 times on that. It's worth it. So very worth it.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Anything you'd like some more clarity on? Well, Michelle, on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much. Once again, the beautiful thing about this is the simplicity that you can do 80 to 82 deals a year, 70 deals a year, and your processes don't need to be super extravagant. They don't need to be complicated. It can be just simple things to do if you do them consistently. Absolutely. And you're dedicated and do them with a high level of passion and concerning for your clients. The sky's the limit. So I just want to say thank you so much. Just one more time, does anybody have any questions before we leave? Because like I said, I know this is something very special.
And I tell everybody this too, y'all, and I know it's hard for some. It was hard for me for a while, but focus on the process, not the paycheck. The money will come. If you focus on helping people, doing the right thing by them, getting the deal done where everybody's happy, the money will continue to come because you're going to continue to get referrals from those people. Yes, we all have to eat. We all have bills to pay. Like, I totally get that, but try not to focus on the money. Try to focus on helping people, and the money just comes. Just saying.
Michelle, thank you so much. Thanks to you, everybody, for being on here.
Y'all have a great day.